chief guest for this evening's program. The honorable chief guest for the program is none other than University of Hawaii. He then did a Master of Science degree in Agriculture and
staff, the Senior Education Officer Marwa Damrua, Ms. Chan, school heads.
After the overwhelming victory of the Fiji Fest, appointed the Dean of the College of Business, Hospitality and Tourism Studies at the Fiji. The Honorable Minister has also published widely in research.
Ladies and gentlemen, bola banaka for you.
As you know, we want all our teachers to have basics in OHS and first aid. The primary reason is we want our students to have basic knowledge on OHS and first aid. We want to prepare our students for future. And it will be difficult for us to undertake training of each student and provide them with knowledge separately. So an easier way is to train our teachers who then can incorporate this basic knowledge on first aid and OHS while teaching the core curriculum. If you look at some of the issues our children have been facing over the last 10 years, you'll find that a lot of it is related to lack of knowledge on OHS and first aid. And had they had the basic knowledge, we could have prevented some of those mishaps. So we have begun this training since last year, but we have got around 11,000 teachers, so it will take time. But I want to thank all of you who chose to attend last year or this year. Ladies and gentlemen, teaching profession is said to be a noble profession. And in some countries, like Finland, teachers are the highest paid employees. Teaching profession are paid the highest. The reason being that you are preparing people for the entire economy, all sectors of the economy. You are preparing them to go and lift the private sector, the public sector, NGOs, preparing future entrepreneurs. So if you do well, future Fiji will do well. If you do well, then the children that you have at your custody will have a bright future. If you fail in your duties in terms of delivering the required knowledge, then we'll have problem in terms of ensuring that our children have a successful future. So our education system plays a very important role in securing a very stable, prosperous and peaceful future Fiji. And it is for this reason that now throughout the world, countries have converged that we must invest in education. The greatest equalizer is education. Education will equalize communities. Education will remove inequalities between households, between villages, between districts, and of course, at the global level, between countries. Education is a sustainable way of lifting households out of hardship and poverty. There's no shortcut solution to it. Solution to raising people, households out of hardship or poverty. We need to educate people, we need to upskill them so that they can join the labor market or they can go and become an entrepreneur. This issue of entrepreneurship is something that next year we will spend a lot of time. Because there seems to be a mindset amongst our children that all of them who graduate out of high school and universities should join the labor market. I think that's a fundamental issue and problem that we need to tackle or address. We need to prepare young entrepreneurs who could go and expand the private sector. If we don't do that, then our private sector will be in the hands of few, and therefore rise in oligopolies or monopolies. What we need is young minds, bright minds, who could go and be an entrepreneur and be a job giver rather than a job seeker. So we want children in our classrooms to think big, to dream big, to dream that they also can be Bill Gates or a big entrepreneur, to name a few in Fiji. So we need to get them to start thinking that way. We need to get them to start critically thinking. We need to get them to think outside the box. And it is something that we will address quite a bit next year. In fact, we wanted to roll out some of these things this year, but we decided to hold it because of Fijian Minister. So we'll be rolling out some of these strategies next year, which will get our students to critically think outside the box, and have an entrepreneurial mind. Ladies and gentlemen, you would have noted that our results for primary school has been released, year 6 and year 8. Now, while we were able to get the results out on time, while you were able to finish the syllabus on time, get them to sit for the exams, and some of you were involved in marking the external exam papers, but overall, we're not pleased with the result. Now, we need to prepare our children well in primary school so that they are ready for high school education. If we don't prepare them well in primary school, and because of continuous progression, they move on to high school, we're doing injustice to our high school teachers. They can wreck their mind, they can work day and night, but certain subjects, they will not be able to raise the performance of the students because the fundamental, the base, the foundation is missing. For example, in year 6, the pass rate in mathematics was 29%. Now, 71% of the students don't have failed mathematics. Now, if we send them to high school, what would the maths teacher do in year 9, 10, etc.? They won't be able to fix, because they will be teaching at year 9 content. They'll be teaching the 9 content. And in mathematics, quantitative subjects, for the student to absorb the year 9 content, they need to have the fundamentals. English may be okay. Basic science, biology, they can catch up reading on their own. But quantitative subjects like mathematics or physics, which is related to mathematics, even though physics is not in the primary school, if the mathematics is weak, if they fail mathematics, then it will be very difficult for them to raise their performance in these subjects. So, on the whole, over the last 2 years, we have come to the conclusion that the problem lies in our primary school system to a large extent. We need to raise our bar at the primary school level. Our teachers have worked very hard in the primary school, but I think it's time we look at new strategies of delivery. We are working with some experts to roll out some new strategies to assist teachers in delivery of literacy and numeracy. You have noted that year 13 and year 12 English pass rates are very high, around 70% last year. But if you look at these students, the quality of grammar in written, where, for example, letters that they write or the assignment that they submit to university lecturers, it is not of very good quality, to play it a bit safe. The problem is, there are a number of problems. One is, we think too much emphasis on literature vis-a-vis on linguistics, grammar and comprehension. So next year, in our high school system, we want to emphasize more on linguistics and cut down on literature so that students' written reports, quality of it, is commensurate with the mark that they get in the English subject in year 12 and 15. So ladies and gentlemen, it is not that our primary school teachers are not working hard. It is, I think we need to relook at the strategies of delivery. And that is something that we need to look at, because now students are subjected to all kinds of challenges, which is getting them to deviate from their studies, and therefore traditional methodologies and pedagogy for teaching needs to be changed. And it is in this regard that we will be sending to teachers some new strategies of delivery. Nothing additional workload, but is how we could better deliver subjects like literacy and numeracy, particularly numeracy. So with these words, I want to thank you all for coming here today. We are in the right path to delivery of high school results. So we're looking at year 10 result on 7th next week, year 13 result on 14th, and year 12 result on 21st. So we will be releasing those results on time, well before Christmas, so that parents are able to organize their children, think through the Christmas on options that their children should take for further studies, those at year 15. Look at what would be a better option in terms of tertiary institutions, technical colleges, and be ready come January. We are working hard to ensure that all schools are able to get the resources, in particular textbooks. We have been liaising with head teachers and principals to get information on that. There are a few other, particularly one major project that we will be announcing soon. Some discussion has already taken place some time back, but we were waiting to get cabinet approval. So all in all, very positive year next year, and I do hope that all of you will work hard as you have done this year. And end of next year, I'm sure you all, or maybe third quarter of next year, you all will probably be rewarded through the self-review exercises announced by the Minister for Economy some time back, which you deserve. And I want to thank you for working with us for so far and supporting the reforms. It is for our children. We cannot continue to work in the old traditional mode, because the world has moved way ahead, and we need to ensure that our children who graduate out of our primary, high school and universities are relevant to contemporary Fiji, contemporary global market. Thank you very much for coming this evening. I do hope that you will take a solid break and enjoy yourself with your family, in particular your children, and do look after your children. They're very emotional. Within seconds they could do certain things and end up harming themselves. So, but also ensure that you take this time to give them those kind of skills that you may not be able to give them through the school system. I've got a small kid in year 3. He's here. He's going to swimming, tennis, and boxing. And guitar. So we give them the best. Let's see what they can take. We do our job. This 7 weeks, you can really get them interested in something. It's important that they do get interested in something outside studies, so that they don't end up in unnecessary groups or mischief making. So if they get into music or sports, and then in their spare time they can devote there. So, but you will need to mentor them and get them into those areas. So I do hope that you will spend time with the children, because when the school starts, then you will have to timetable your life, and it will be difficult for you to spend that kind of quality time with your children. So with these words, I want to thank you very much for coming here tonight, and I wish you all the best, and my congratulations to all of you who are receiving awards tonight for Best Station OHS. Thank you very much.
Ravinesh Chand. Penny Mario Gondro. Jessica Lal. Usha Kumar. Tandigo. Anasa Mol Sondrao. Arvindra Prasad. Nirmal Prasad. Mukesh Chand. Ritika Prasad, Momina Sharon B, Rovina Shah, Sharon Chandra, Osea Sokomuri, Samina Sami, Sunita Govind, Rajunita Devi,
also has an impressive record of consultancies for national.
the basic first aid training. At the outset, I would like to take this wonderful opportunity to welcome our minister. Sir, on behalf of the northern teachers, on behalf of the northern community, welcome to Batanikama Primary School, Mr. Satyavan Virapa, to move a vote of thanks. Mr. Virapa.